Greeting to all the students. Welcome to Global Online University. And today we are going to talk about West Bengal Set Paper 1 preparation for the topic Teaching Aptitude. Now, in this particular video, we are going to see in detail all the concepts, topics related to teaching aptitude, which will be definitely helpful for you to crack your examination, especially the MCQ questions. And in this video, we are going to ensure that we are going to understand each and every concept in detail as per your syllabus, which will help you definitely to give you an idea about the whole unit in the one video itself. Also has a complete kit of paper 1. Now what this will be consisting of, it will be consisting of 50 full syllabus mock test, including PDF solution with answers. So even if you are wrong with some questions, you will get a clarity about it, plus 2500 and more MCQs covering all the syllabus, all the topics, 100 plus video lectures, as well as notes on all the units. So this whole package will cost you 999, which is the offer price. In case if you want to gain more information, you can get in touch with the given WhatsApp number. Now, apart from this, we also have paper 2 notes available with us. Now, these notes will also consist of theory concepts as well as MCQs. So you can definitely have a clear overview for your paper 2 also. That is your paper 2 subject paper also, we will help you out. At the same time, on Google Play, we have our app, that is Global Online University app. You can go through, you can download the app with the help of Google Play Store. You can select the category of your examination. In that, we have certain free test and previous year question papers, notes, as well as videos, which will help you to give a clear understanding about the topic as well as your paper and about the subject also. So yes, don't now, definitely your exams are on peak, so do not think more about it. So in case if you feel it is all feasible in one go itself, you're going to get everything, so you can quickly get in touch with the given WhatsApp number, and with the help of this we can help you and assist you in order to clear your West Bengal set examination. Syllabus for teaching aptitude. So it start with the teaching concept, the objectives, levels of memory. So you have three levels of memory, that is levels of teaching, where you have three levels of teaching, that is memory, understanding, reflective. Question comes on this also many a times, so you should be very sure. Requirements and characteristics. Then we have learners characteristics, so wherein we have academic characteristics, social characteristics, emotional characteristics, and cognitive characteristics. You have a topic on individual difference. You get one question on individual difference, so should know the concept of individual difference. The next you have is factors affecting teaching related to. So you have teacher as an important factor, learner, support material, instruction facilities, learning environments. On this one question is touched on this topic. Then definitely and 100% question on teacher-centered and learner-centered methods, in wherein offline and online methods are also considered. Swayam Prabha moves. There is one question on this. The next topic will be teaching support material, that is traditional, modern, and ITC based teaching. And comes finally is evaluation method, where you have various types of evaluation elements and types. Then you have evaluation and choice based credit system, computer based testing, and even evaluation in innovation and evaluation system. So let's start I meant to say, we have just quickly seen the syllabus. So let's start with the theory now. What exactly it starts from. So first one which we have is objective. So here definitely one question comes regarding the overall objective of teaching. So if I divide it into two parts, it comes as general and specific, where you have, this question is very commonly seen in many of the previous year's papers. So what type of impact or what type of objective does teaching has? So it hasn't changed, or it talks about the overall development or all-round personality of the students to, to change or to come up with overall personality and development with curriculum, which includes shaping of behavior, adaptability, that is adjusting to the new environment, to encouraging the students to learn, that is to create a desire to learn. All this are the form of questions. So now you know that you have revised MCQs, you have learned so many MCQs, you have done so many MCQs. So how it gets connected to acquaint them with the content of knowledge, the content of subject, that is the subject mastery. Specific talks about developing critical and logical thinking, creating interest, that's what I said, desiring learning, to develop an understanding and to develop the knowledge. So these are basically, it goes with what the objectives of teaching. A definite question can be expected from this topic. The next one which you have point is phases. Now there was one question on this phases of teaching. So basically, how many phases are there? There are three phases, that is pre-active, interactive and post-active. So post-active, it means after. So pre-active, it is which is before, so it refers to planning. Interactive phase is one which refers to the the continuous process, the ongoing process, sorry. So which refers to the conduct and management. And post active is refers to the follow up. So in one of the year, there was a question on this phases. So you should know that teaching has three phases. One is pre-active, one is interactive, and one is post-active. Pre-active is concerned with planning. Interactive is concerned with your which is it is the one which refers to your conduct and management, and post-active refers to follow up. Then coming to the next topic is a role of teacher. So what role does a teacher play? Helping the students in making them understand new concepts, providing the real world context-based learning environment, focusing on realistic approaches, encouraging the students to ask questions. There is a question on this, that what is the role of a teacher? So basically, the teacher plays the role, um, where the teacher encourage the students to ask more and more questions and enhance the collaborative learning. So yes, this is how very impressive the role teacher plays in the life of a student. Coming to the factors which are definitely affecting the teaching, so we will see one factors. In basic, there are 9 factors which talks about teacher learner, support material, teacher student relationship, instructional facilities, teacher administration relationship. Then you have learning environment, classroom environment specifically, and certain administrative policies. So in that, when we talk about teacher, so teachers qualification, teachers knowledge, awareness of the factors, teachers experience, expectations, teaching skills which are very very important, methods, that is pedagogy of teaching, the approach towards the student, personality and behavior, which also creates an important impact, level of adjustment and mental health of the teacher, discipline and economic factor. So definitely here you may not get a direct question, so they will give you some instances, some situation, and from that you need to, you go for the question. And based on this example, you may get a specific question related to teacher. When we go with learner, so learner's physical and mental health, learner's basic potential, learner's level of aspiration and motivation for achievement, goals in the life of the learner, and readiness and willpower. So here also there were many questions from previous year examination which talks that many times they give you the options like whether learners parents qualification or their socio-economic background, or their the society from where they come. No, so those are not, you may get an odd man out. So basically learners mental health, physical health, basic potential, the capability he has, aspiration, then its goals, okay, his goals, and the desire and the readiness with the willpower. So this will be the right option. So when you're reading the theory concepts, please try to recall that what type of questions can be expected or been asked earlier. So next topic will be next factor will be support material, wherein we have all the type of audios, videos, online tutorials, journals, online tests, all kind of teaching aids. Apart from this, all the ways, or every mean in order to make your teaching effective with the help of the support material. Teacher student relationship, yes, there was a question on this also. It has to be with a good bonding. There has to be an authority, there has to self discovery is also an topic of learning. A positive relationship which should not cross the limit. There has to be discipline. It develops a proper learning structure which results into positive outcomes, so that the student gain important knowledge from the teacher. Next factor is instructional facilities. So on this also, we get a question like what this instructional facilities do. Definitely they create, or they are important in order to create learning. The facilities can be in the form of laboratory, audiovisual presentations, seminars, library, which can be used in order to deliver the formal instructions. At the same time, it enhances teaching learning process. So teacher administration relationship, which should be very professionalism. There the Definitely with the professionalism will help teaching learning process to improve or to grow, to achieve the goals in the organization, which will have better relationship between teacher and the administration. So on all this, there were definitely questions. So now, please remember, these are the quick revision points, which yes, there is something called as instruction facility, there is something called as teacher to student relationship, there is something called as teacher administration relationship. Next is the classroom and the learning environment. Yes, it differs as per the situation, the location, the context in the which is involved in teaching learning. A wide variety of settings as per the modern times also. And this also includes the educational setting, which will help or facilitate learning. Apart from this, the administrative policies which will be like a governing bodies, definitely to take care that the teaching learning process happens in a defined framework. All the basic facilities will be given, because if they are lacked, it will restrict the classroom learning activities. Autonomy to the teacher is given with respect to the methodologies of teaching learning, which will definitely enhance the learning process, and that also in the positive environment. So yes, these factors, so you may not, as I said earlier, you may definitely not get a direct question, but there are many instances, there are many odd man outs where you will definitely get these factors, which you have to go with a right selection. You have to read the question and go with right selection. The next one is that forms of education. So basically, there are three forms of education, starting with formal, informal, non-formal. So the formal is the one which is, which is like provided with the help of schools, colleges, and universities. Informal is the one where the first child gets, comes in contact with the learning process in the form of family, friends, society. And then comes next is your non-formal, which is again a systematic activity which is carried for the formal education, but in non-formal, it is basically with the help of the distance learning, that is the correspondence courses which are done in correspondence mode. Okay, so the forms of education, there are three forms of education, that is formal, informal, and non-formal. The next one you have is your next topic is levels of teaching. Very, very important question. Definitely one topic, I mean to say, based on this topic, one question comes. So first of all, who has developed the levels? So let's see. As we have seen in syllabus also, there are three types of levels of teaching, that is memory, understanding, and reflective. I have put it in an order only, that is first is the memory, the lowest, then comes your understanding, and the highest is your reflective. Developed memory was developed by Herbert, understanding level which was developed by Morrison, reflective which was developed by Hunt. So now let's see the features of every level. So when we go with memory level, It is basically with rote memorization, recalling. Understanding is mastery of the subject, to understand in the form of understanding. Reflective level, it is use of knowledge and skills in order to solve the problem. Now, again, next topic is coming up with how the memory level of teaching happens. It is thoughtless, understanding is completely thoughtful, and reflective is will be highly thoughtful. So, under memory level, how do you practice this memory level? With the help of oral written test or with the essay type of questions. Understanding level, it is very comprehensive, or it is based on objective type of questions. Reflective level, it's like an essay type of questions or a critical and creative, which will enhance critical and creative skills. So memory level, it basically is, found at lower classes, understanding at middle classes, and reflective level is at higher classes. Memory level in which it is teacher centered as it is written, but it teacher centered in what form? It is authoritarian and dominant. Understanding level, though it is teacher centered, but it is permissive. Permissive means allowing the child to do certain things, but only with the prior permission or prior with the help of only teachers guidance or support. Reflective level is completely learner centered, where the learner has plays a democratic role. So here again, there are questions seen on the one who has developed the theory. There are questions seen on which type of active attribute the level has. Question scenes on what type of examples are which will suit the every type of level, and whether it is dominated by whom. So you should either in the match the following or in the normal MCQ questions, you get the topic. On this topic you definitely get the questions. So hope this levels of teaching is done. Going next is, yes, there is definitely a question seen nowadays on syllabus and curriculum. In previous year question papers, in the older syllabus also these questions were there on syllabus and curriculum. So let's quickly have a look. So when I'm talking about uh, syllabus, let's go for a meaning. So syllabus is nothing but a document which contains the portion of the concepts which are covered in the specific subject. So syllabus goes subject wise, whereas curriculum is an overall content which is taught in an educational system as in an educational system or in a course. So syllabus is something which is oriented from Greek term, whereas curriculum is the one which was from the Latin term. Syllabus is set for a specific subject. Curriculum is spec for a specific course or a specific stream or field. Syllabus is very descriptive, whereas curriculum is prescriptive. Syllabus is narrow in scope, whereas curriculum is much more wider. Syllabus is basically, based or set out by exam board, whereas curriculum is by the administration or the government of the particular school, institute, or a college. The term for the syllabus term, it means it's talking about the tenure, the time period. So this is fixed, normally a year, which can be stretched to 3 years also, or many times 5 years. Whereas curriculum is till the time the course lasts. What is uniformity in syllabus? It varies from a teacher to a teacher. That is from one teacher, subject teacher, to another subject teacher. Whereas curriculum is basically same, irrespective, the different type of teachers, subject teachers. The next one you have is the next topic which we are going to study is magazines. A very important topic on they again here, they give a lot of examples, and based on that you need to identify which magazines, or they give you the magazines are nothing but the principles of teaching. So you need to find out which are the exact principles or magazines of teaching. So basically I've given all with the help of examples, so let's see one by one. known to unknown, wherein the people have the some previous knowledge, and based on that, teacher gives some new knowledge to the student. Simple to complex, teacher starts with the simple form of teaching, and then slowly take the students to the complex content of teaching. Concrete to abstract, where the teacher starts with the mental development of the pupil with the help of the concrete things, and slowly take it to the abstract contents, that is at a later stage. Coming to particular to general, that is giving a specific example, and then coming to a general law or a principle by the teacher. Then we have whole to part, that is which is based on the Gestalt psychology. uh, that is, first we perceive the object as a whole, and then divide it into various parts. Then we have a psychological to logical, that is based on the interest, aptitude, capacity of the child. And then when it comes to subject matter, giving them an idea about the logical arrangement of the subject content. Induction to deduction, that is induction, where you are arriving at a conclusion by observing it. Deduction, it's you arrive at a conclusion after examining all the possibilities. Empirical to rational, that is based on some real experiences, that is ideas. And then we move to the rational concepts, that is in the logical form of understanding the things. Analysis to synthesis, that is something which you break, I mean to say, where you break the problem or a concept into smaller part, and then you I mean to say, then you the whole idea has been put together. So analysis is nothing but breaking. Synthesis is nothing but the combining part. So these are the magazines of teaching. And yes, even magazines you will be having one question, so you should know all the magazines, the principles, and whatever form the question comes, you should be able to solve it. Then coming to the next part of the topic is yes, next is Bloom's taxonomy, a very important concept again. Yes, as per the new concept also, and older also. But I mean to say, there are questions like, as you can see in the diagram, which are the higher order skills, which are the lower order skills. They can also give you to arrange the levels of thinking. So let's see how it goes. That is, the concept was brought by Benjamin Bloom in the year 1956 in order to, help or assist to provide a guide that can be used in order to create an assessment, or to create the objectives and the assessment. So if you can see the levels of Bloom's taxonomy, it is also known as Bloom's taxonomy. So if you can see the levels, that is a pyramid form. It goes with it starts with remembering, understanding, applying, that is application, analyzing, evaluation, and creation. So if I talk about the higher sorry if I talk about the lower orders of thinking skills, so it includes remembering, understanding, and applying. If I talk about higher order of thinking skills, it talks about analyzing, evaluating, and creating. So if we go one by one, if we talk about remembering as the lowest order, so it talks about recalling or recognizing. When I talk about understanding, it is covering the main idea, the views, or summarize. When I talk about applying, it is basically providing with ideas, theories, and problem solving techniques. When I talk about analyzing, it is to examine the concepts, break down into basic parts. Evaluation talks about using of standards and criteria in order to view, or to support the opinions. And when I talk about creating, it is to assemble the parts of the knowledge into whole by using the creative and problem solving ability. So what are the expected questions? How can it come? How you need to, what you need to remember? It's very clear. The next is, yes, we are talking about Bloom's taxonomy, where just now saw the new terms, but you may get original terms wherein it started with knowledge, comprehension, application, okay, analysis. But earlier it was synthesis and evaluation. Now evaluation is one scale down, and it has taken the new role of creation. Okay, so this is all about Bloom's taxonomy. Now, levels of I meant to say levels, sorry, domains. What are the various type of domains? So basically there are three types of domain: cognitive, that goes with your mental ability; affective, that goes with your events, sorry, emotions and feelings; and psychomotor, that goes with your kinesthetic energy. Definitely this type of from this topic, 101% the question is going to come, wherein they will give you to arrange the cognitive or the affective or the psychomotor domain, or they may give you certain examples, and from the examples they will tell you to recognize the domain. So you have to be very careful. All in my MCQs practice I have done, but here let's quickly focus on the various types of domains. So when it comes with cognitive domain, just now we have done, which starts with remembering in the form of taxonomy, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and the finally is creating. When we talk about affective domain, it starts with receiving, responding, valuing, conceptualizing, and characterizing. Now, why this comes or how this comes, they will give you all the random options and they will tell you to arrange it as per the sequence, okay, original sequence. So you should know the original sequence very well. When it comes to psychomotor, it is imitation, manipulation, precision, articulation, and naturalization. So maybe some students need to have this little bit in detail. So let's quickly have them in detail, starting with cognitive first. Remembering is nothing but, recalling all your previous information. Understanding is basically comprehending the meaning in one's own language or words. Applying, it means application, applying in the various situation in order to learn the classrooms, which applies what is learned in the classroom in the various situation at workplace. Analyzing, which separate the concepts into the components in order to understand. Evaluating is to make the judgment. Creating is to build a pattern from the diverse element. This is basically about cognitive. Let's go with affective. So receiving, it means awareness, willingness. Responding, it means active participation. Valuing, it means to give the worth or value to the person. Organizing, it means basically resolving. And internalizing the values, it means characterization, where you talk about the controlling the behavior, being predictable, being pervasive or consistent. So all this comes as a part of characterization, that is affective domain. Then last one we have a psychomotor domain, which starts with imitation, that is observing, uh, manipulation, which is about performing certain actions. Precision, that is refining, making it more and more exact, or you can say efficient. Articulation, so basically it talks about coordination or adapting the certain series. And naturalization, it means mastering the high level of performance. Okay, then you, apart from this, you also have certain taxonomies, that is there was one, I have seen a question once on this, so I have thought I'll just quickly do with this topic with you, which was the taxonomy which was given by Simpson and Harrow. So in Simpson's taxonomy, it basically starts with perception, the set, the response, the mechanism, the complex response, that is way of response or one of the strategy. It talks about in as per the simple, that is Simpson. So when I say that it is complex overt response, so it means the one which is done, the act. Okay, it talks about an act, adaptation and origination. So this also quickly, let's see with the help of examples. So perception, it means certain clues. Set, it means mentally, emotionally and physically are you ready to act. Guided response, it means it gives the practice skills. Mechanism, it means it helps to increase the efficiency, confidence and proficiency. Complete overt response, it means it helps you to perform automatically. Adaptation, it's adapting the skills in order to solve the problem. And originalization, it means it creates new pattern for specific situation. Then the one steps which are given by Harrow, which I've quickly written over here itself. So it talks about what it talks about: the non-discursive movements, that is the body language; the skill movements, it means the advanced learning; physical movements, it means it talks about the stamina; perceptual abilities, it means the stimuli; fundamental movement, which talks about basis such as walking; and reflex movement, it talks about the experience, by experience. It talks about an activity which can be learned by experience and not by learning. So this are the taxonomies which were given. One, I have seen a question once on this. So even if now the question comes, you have to the topic is in front of you, you have to just repeat it and definitely revise it. Okay. Then next one, a topic is important topic is on individual difference. There was a question seen that individual difference should be considered. Yes, definitely it should be considered. We know that individual difference is based on the one which is inherited in the form of physical, mental, and temperamental way, and the one which we can acquire either socially, culturally, emotionally, or with the help of education. The next is, yes, what are the teacher centered and what are the learner centered methods? So when we talk about teacher centered method, which are conventional, traditional, teachers are more active, students are passive in this, flexibility is less, no as such group activities, or it is only one way communication with the help of lecture or team teaching or the PPT format. Now, when I talk about learner centered, it is one which is the modern method. Okay, it is the one which focuses on students as well as teacher. Students are more active. There is a lot of amount of flexibility over here. Group activities are conducted to encourage the students. A multiple flow of channels. Basically, it happens with the help of tutorial, assignment, or a project work or case study. Then we have, as I said, traditional form or the modern form in the form of flipped classroom. So in traditionally, what they do is lectures as well as homework activities, whereas in flipped, lecture come classroom activities. So you can definitely give them here. It also happens with you tell the students to do the concept, okay, well in advance, and then based on that you take an activities in the classroom or show them certain content based videos where the concepts gets more clear. The next one which you have is the blended form of learning. The most accepted learning environment is blended, wherein it is you consider the face to face physical mode of learning as well as your online. But when you blend them, when you combine them, we get a new form of learning that is blended. uh, Now in we're talking about learning, so definitely should know that what type of methods are used. So it is basically the pedagogy and andragogy. So let's see what is andragogy. It is a self-directed learner, large amount of life experience he learns through. Learning needs are closely related to social roles. They are focused on solving the problems, and they are intrinsically motivated. It means within, that is your self desire, your self motivation form. When we talk about pedagogy, that is, it is basically learner dependent on the teacher. A few life experience are only shared. Learning needs are dictated by the teacher. They are subject or the content centered, and they are extrinsically motivated. It means the teacher need to extrinsic and intrinsic. Just remember very well, intrinsic, it means from inside. You whatever type of motivation you get from inside, whereas extrinsic, it means the motivation which you get from outside, that is a push or a encouragement by the teacher. Apart from that, we also have some levels if you see by order. So first is the pedagogy, that is engagement, and next is andragogy, that is a cultivation, and next is utagogy, that is realization. So pedagogy basically, it starts with pedagogy, that is the one which builds confidence. Andragogy, which helps in understanding and support. Utagogy, which helps the desire or to create a desire to own learning. So if we talk about I mean to say the dictate who it is ruled by. So when it comes to pedagogy, it is teacher; andragogy, it's the adult himself; and pedagogy is its self determination. So if you see, the level of instruction is more in the pedagogy, but it reduces when it goes to pedagogy. The level of maturity is less when it comes to pedagogy, but increases as it goes to pedagogy. So any type of question from here, the level of maturity, the level, starting level, what does every level creates, it is dominated by whom, you should be able to answer. Okay. The next topic, there was micro teaching. There are in this last 2-3 years there was a concept of micro teaching, so I thought I will quickly touch this topic. So it is basically a technique which aims to prepare teacher candidates, that is the teacher, the trainee teacher, to the real classroom setting, which was given by Brenton Thomas. It can be also defined as a technique specially used to train the teacher systematically, and by allowing them to experiment the main teacher behavior, which helps them, the teacher training, to learn new skills. It helps them to master number of teaching skills, and it gains confidence in teaching. At the same time, if you see a proper, a well quoted definition of micro teaching, so it goes with, as per the Singh, LC Singh, it is a scaled down teaching which encounters the teacher with the small group of the pupil, that is five or more, which can last for 25 to 20 minutes, and it's really an helpful experience in order to, acquire the skills. When it comes to macro teaching, it occurs when a teacher provide instruction. This is an actual classroom situation. It usually is longer than 10 minutes. Macro teaching is done in the lecture format, and definitely it is also used for introducing new concepts or practicing the new skills. Then going with one of the concept is discovery learning. As I said, one small topic we will do. Discovery learning is based completely on this constructive approach, based approach. So basically where, the learners are active, they are involved in the process of learning with the help of a good amount of knowledge construction. The role of the teacher is in the social constructivist is, to help the students build knowledge, control the existence of the students during the teaching learning process. So what are the steps? There was a question on this also. What type of cycle it has? So it goes with engaging the students, exploring them, explaining them, extending the support, and evaluating them in the correct order. So when it comes to constructive approach, they have the specific step, sorry, which starts with engaging and which ends with evaluation. Then the next topic which we have is now is yes, types of evaluation, very, very important topic. So when it goes with types of evaluation, placement, this type of evaluation is basically to understand what type of course is suitable to the student. Diagnostic, that is you to find out the remedies. Formative and summative, we are going to do in detail along with norm reference and criterion reference. So when it comes to norm and criterion, definitely norm is that where, where you compare your a student, okay, with the comparison of the one student with individual student with the other students, with his classmates or a group of students. Whereas in criterion, you just compare a student's knowledge and skills against the standard set. Okay, so the performance of the other students does not affect in this as per the student score. When we come to formative and summative, formative is the one of the like, for example, continuous type of evaluation. Summative is the one which is done at the end. So formative is throughout the course, we can tell. It is too important in order to identify the gaps and to improve teaching, whereas it happens in the form of, the approaches that support specific needs of the students. When it comes to summative, it is done at the end. Basically, why? It is to collect the evidence about the students' knowledge and skills which you have learned, and how it is with the help of the cumulative assessment, which is taken at the end of the, like the semester end examination or the final examination. Now, if I give you an example of formative, it is when the chef tastes the soup, okay, like an individual, you can say. But summative, when the same soup has been tested by number of guests, it's guest, okay. Now here, if you want, I have again given you the same concept of formative and summative, but in a detailed way. So you can just pause a video for a minute and just check it is, basically it's an ongoing process. It is done at the end. It is monitored for aimed with learning. It is aimed with, to evaluation. It provides feedback. It provides a result. It occurs many times during the course. It occurs at the end of the course, depending upon if it is semester exams, semester patterns, or two semester exams. uh, Formative has a wide range of question formats, whereas summative is limited to this question format. They are both basically more on subjective oriented part. Okay. Yes. Next one you have, here I have just given a table for a grading system. So you should know that O stands for outstanding with a grade of 10. F stands for fail with 0. Absenteeism, okay. P with a grade pass with a grade point of 4. C is average with a grade point 5. B above average with grade point 6. B plus is good, 7. A very good, 8. And A plus is excellent, that is 9. Okay. Apart from that, you have something called as computer assisted evaluation and computer based evaluation. Assisted, it means like in your online examination, with the help of the link given to the students. The same way, even NTA UGC net conducts this online examination, where the specific centers have been allotted. Students have to go there and take this online examination. Computer based evaluation, where your evaluation happens with the help of the OMR sheet, that is optical mark reader answer sheets, which is again technology based, but with the help of this technology, your results or your sheets are assessed or evaluated. Okay. Then as I said that formative summative comes in scholastic areas. Okay. So there are, these are the examples and what forms it has been taken. But apart from them, you have continuous compressive evaluation, now which is regular, which is, based on a lot of characteristics, and which is definitely one of the important tool. So quickly, let's have its understand this topic in detail. So the main aim is to assess every child, minimize the stress. It should be done on a compressive and a regular basis, which provides, space for the teacher for their teaching, which it is a tool for detecting and correcting the error, sorry, specific things which are not been understood by the students. And it provides them with the great skills, the learners, it provides a learner with the great skill. When the objectives are being asked, or what are the objectives, so first of all, it makes the process, via learner centered, focused on learner centered. Assessment is an important part which is taken care. A judgment is fair over here based on the learning, or the environment and the growth. It provides the scope for the assessment, and it evaluates, the evaluation helps to improve the achievement of the students. Functions, yes, it is done by with the help of the teacher. It helps to detect the weaknesses. At the same time, it helps the learner to uh, come up with the best type of strength. It is done so that the students know the strength and the weaknesses like a SWOT. It helps to change the attitude as as value. And definitely it takes care of both scholastic and co-scholastic areas. So let's quickly have the example of co-scholastic areas. So it depends upon the life skills, that is thinking, emotional and social, work, education, ITC, visual arts, health, with the help of a physical, that is physical education, sports and first aid, attitudes and values with respect to the teacher, classmates, the programs and the environment and value system. I've just given examples in the next slide. For life skills, basically, thinking skills, what will come, social skills and emotional skills, and attitudes and values, what will come. Visual performing arts, which will talk about photography, painting and sculpting. So here also you can take a 1 minute pause and just see this example. So in case if you get various examples, you should be able to, write it. Okay. Then you have a topic called an achievement test. So achievement test is basically divided into two, that is standardized and teacher made. standardized test is it is a form of format or a standard followed from one institute to another. Basically, your topic is teacher mode. So teacher mode, whereas a oral or a written examination or a practical examination happens. So when it is written, it is based on essay type, short answers, or objective type. Oral, you know what it is, and practically also the demo. Okay. The next topic you have is the common types of learning disorders. This was very frequently seen in one of the 2 3 times this was seen. Okay. We are talking about dyslexia, so that is a reading difficulty. Dyscalculia, so that is basically a difficulty in numbers, that is mathematics. Then you have dysgraphia. Dysgraphia is basically ability, it is basically the difficulty with writing. Dysprasia, or sensory integration disorder, so difficulty with reference to motor skills. Dysphasia or aphasia, that is language. Auditory processing disorder, that is difficulty in hearing the sounds. And visual processing disorder, that is difficulty in interpreting the information. So here I have given you the problems also, what exactly it creates. But basically the types of disorder and the meaning was seen in the match the following questions, or matching them up with their proper meaning. So you should be able to understand and remember this. Okay. Then yes, coming to the choice-based credit system. So basically, this is an educational model that offers, option for the courses, subjects based on the choice, elective purposes, and the skills. Unlike not in the traditional form, system. So best thing in this particular thing is, uh, it is talking about the time, the effectiveness in the teaching learning platform, along with flexibility, or it helps to have the core list of elective core and soft skills courses. uh, the regulation states that credit, it means, is nothing but the standard methodology. So now, when we see them in detail, so basically there are three types of courses, that is the core, the elective, and the foundation. It was a core where it talks about choosing a core subject in order to complete the requirement. Elective is basically which aims to increase the students skills. Okay, expose them to the various subjects, and give them the freedom with respect to the personal interest. And foundation is an ability enhanced courses which helps them to offer the value based subjects. So this is how it goes. So you should know what they're divided into, and how as basically the grading system is happens. So this we have done in earlier also, uh, with respect to um, uh, with the help of average points, grades, and grade points. Okay, so now let's see what exactly the next topic is. So yes, you have Swayam Prabha, and moves. So basic, what is Swayam? So in detail, I have covered all this topic. So let's quickly have a look. So Swayam is nothing but the study web of active learning for young aspiring minds. It's an Indian massive online platform, a move platform, which was started with Ministry of launched by Ministry of Human Resource Development, along with NEPTIL, IIT Madras, Google Inch, and Persistence System. It has the principles of assess equity and quality. It helps the digital divide accessible to the students who have been so far not able to utilize this facility. It is a free entry to the web courses based on the advanced education, high school skills sector under Digital India. Next is basically you're talking about teaching, which is ranges from standard night to post graduation. Certification, you can avail this certification, which also carry the credit to the academic record, which was started from 2016. But for that, you have to go for a nominal amount of registration fee, and sit for the final examination, which is for both teachers as well as students. The courses it undertakes is some computer science, language, mathematics, arts, entertainment, management, general library, education, which are taught by great more than 1,000 selected faculty. Next is it has its 9 coordinators, very important topic. And then many a times they give you this coordinators, or they tell you to explain them in detail with the help of their acronym is given and the full forms. So it starts with AICT, that is All India Technique Council for Technical Education. Uh, then it is NEPTIL, that is National Program for Technology Enhanced Learning for Engineering. UGC, that is University Grant Commission, which talks about taking post graduation education. CEC, that is Consortium for Educational Communication for undergraduate courses. NCERT, that is National Council for Educational Research and Training for school education. NIOS, that is National Institute of Open Learning, specifically for school education. IGNU, that is Indira Gandhi National Open University, which is for uh, distance mode of education. IMB, that is IIM Bangalore, which is for management studies, and NITTR, that is National Institute for Technical Teacher Training and Research, basically for teacher training. Then we have next is, this 9 coordinators, which I said, it can again come in any form, or, match the following, or you should recognize what is basically for what. So this slide is just an example that you should keep the 9 coordinators completely, properly, thoroughly learn it. Then next one you have is the quadrants of Swayam, that are, there are 4: assessment, e-tutorial, e-content, and discussion forum. There are 4 quadrants which are there. You should be able to keep this in mind. The next is Swayam Prabha. So Swayam Prabha, it's a group of direct to home channels. There are 34. Please update it. There are 34 direct to home channels, which are 24/7 available with the help of GSAT, that is geostationary satellite. But the objective is equal access. It includes school as well as higher education, live classes, curriculum based courses, and it is very helpful for the competitive preparation. Now here, what are the basic features? The content goes, for 4 hours, which is repeated 5 to 6 times in a day. It allows the students to watch it as per their convenient time. It has channeled, or the channels are uplinked from BSAC, that is Gandhinagar. Now, what is this BSAC full form? That is the Bhaskaracharya Institute for Space Application and Geoinformatics. It is the contents are provided by NEPTIL, IITs, UGC, CC, IGNO, NCRT, and NIS. The portal is who maintains the portal, that is InflibNet, that is Information and Library Network Center. Basically, this is the curriculum based contents which are applicable for postgraduate as well as undergraduate. The disciplines under Swayam Prabha is, arts, science, commerce, performing arts, social science, humanity, engineering, technology, law, medicine, and agriculture. Coming to the moves is nothing but a massive online course, which is again a web-based platform which provides unlimited number of students, provide helps to unlimited number of students worldwide. Okay, which was established back in 2008, and it gained the momentum in 2012. Yes, here the basic idea for this particular slide is I have brought is that many times I've seen that they give the topics, moves in India. So that is with the help of NEPTIL, with the help NEPTIL only, because EDX is based basically it is for US. Coursera is again US. Udemy is also based out of UF. Open to Study, that is Australia, and Viz, that is India and US. So you can get a question that which type of moves, platform are available in India. So you should be aware of this. Okay. Then yes, the next important is Edgar's Dale cone of experience. So again, it is, what based on what sentence or saying goes by Benjamin Franklin. Tell me I forget, teach me I remember, involve me I learn. So 90% of what you do is learned, okay, rather than 10% of what you read. Okay, so 70% of what you say and read, write, remembers. 50% of what you hear, 30% of what you see, 20% of what you hear, and 10% of what you read. Okay, so here Learning by doing is active. That otherwise it is, just seeing and reading. It's more passive. Based on this experience, Edgar's Dale cone of experience, there is one more constructive theory, that is Bruner's theory of constructive theory, which is learning by abstract, that is symbolic experience, learning through observation, which is called as iconic experience, learning by doing, which is called as direct experience or inactive. So what type of activities are undertaken? So it is like evaluation, creation, defining, analyzing, practicing, applying it, demonstrating, explaining, describing, listing, and defining. So this is how it goes. So what important thing is what percentage and Bruner theory modes you have to keep in mind. Okay. Next, yes, there is one concept of Gagne's levels of learning. So there are 9 levels. It starts with gaining attention, informing the learners, stimulating the recall, stimulating, recalling the prior learning, presenting information, providing the guidance, eliciting the performance, providing feedback, assessing the performance, and enhancing preparation and transfer. Okay, so the first stage goes with preparation, wherein you have these 3 activities. Next is instruction, where you have next 3 activities, and then the next 2 comes in the part of what? It comes in the part of assessment and transfer. Okay. uh, yes. So yes, that one topic we have is that is seen in 2019 question paper. So I've just thought I'll quickly revise what is positive and negative enforcement. So positive enforcement, that is the one which focuses on the reward what is done well by the students. Like for example, a teacher handing out gold stars to the students, for doing his homework on time. Negative reinforcement is a strategy that focuses on removing the negative elements and to promote the positive behavior. So let's see, the example is that, the punishment that is decreasing your negative behavior by adding something to decrease the behavior, and or subtracting something. So if it is adding, it is positive; subtracting, it is, just removing out the negativity. But when it is reinforcement to increase the behavior. So in the positive form, we can add something to increase the behavior. Negative form, we can subtract certain things. Okay. So example is that here is scolding a student to get the student to stop texting in the class. So this is one of the example of, a positive type of reinforcement by removing the negative behavior. Okay. So yes,